Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at Overwatch Tranquility. We are participating in the Overtime Champions Feeding America charity tournament going on this evening. We are bringing you back an amazing match, the second semifinals match in the tournament, Lunaris versus Soesic Esports, our third and fourth seeds for this tournament. I am Captain Jack, your play-by-play, joined by Dor on the color tonight. How you doing tonight, Dor?
I'm feeling a little weird, man. I'm not used to not doing the intro, but I think you did plenty of justice to it. And I couldn't be more excited for this match here. Lunaris versus Soesic, third and fourth seed, going at it here in the semifinals. I think we're lined up for a great match.
I definitely think that it's going to be incredible. We are currently trying to get the rest of the team members in here. So while we are waiting for them, we do want to let you know, again, this is a charity tournament. Hit that exclamation donate in the chat. We'll give you all the information you need to know about how to donate to an incredible cause. As you know, there's just so much going on with the COVID-19 crisis, and any way that we can help out as community members is definitely a great one. I guess what we can go ahead and do while we're waiting is introduce the players that will be coming in. We actually had them give us some fun facts about themselves so that we knew a little bit about them before coming in. Some took it seriously, some did not. So hopefully they are thankful, or maybe not so much, after we introduce them. So let's go ahead and start with Team Lunaris. We've got Pumi coming in on the hitscan DPS, Ani on main support with Geo on flex support, Devin coming in on the main tank, Chime on the other DPS role, which is apparently is horny on main a lot, and I'm not for certain what that means. Is it like on main DPS? Is that what we're going?
Well, I'll let you figure that one out later.
And our last one for Team Lunaris is Pure, which will be the off tank this evening. So why don't you go ahead and introduce a Soesic Esports team?
I'll try to while my mic arm tries to take itself off of my desk. However, this side of Soesic, starting off with Ko-chan, it's going to be on the hitscan DPS, Youngdu on the flex, and lining up for the tanks here, it'll be Kel and Norse Dude, like and Wazd, however, bringing up the rear on the main and flex support. One of these players, however, on a laptop. I can't wait to see those trackpad flicks, if you know what I'm saying. But probably on a mouse. But there's some degree of BM available to laptop players.
No, I definitely agree with you there, and I wonder honestly what kind of skill may be coming out from Norse Dude. I mean, having a twin. I mean, there's always this talk about that psychic connection that twins seem to have. So maybe instead of watching the stream directly, maybe their twin is watching the stream and trying to give them like a direct psychic link thoughts through their twinness to be able to take the victory this evening. Might be interesting to see.
See, here's my question though: is for Ko-chan's fun fact, it says loved sushi. Now this is past tense.
Yes.
Was there some sort of like falling out? What's the backstory on that one? Because it seems like Kel has met Gordon Ramsay, so maybe he made some good food and he found out, okay, maybe sushi's not that S tier that he really needs, or I gotta know. There's some sort of history here.
Yeah, and I mean, Waz just loves going to Disneyland. So, I mean, if we're talking about probably some of the most enjoyable American food that you could possibly have, you're probably going to find it at Disneyland. So, maybe they're just looking to see if they can expand their palettes a little bit. It looks like are we still waiting for?
I think we're down
teams?
one player right now, but we do have word from the producer. And he's saying not everybody can survive the bad sushi experience. And I feel like the bad sushi experience is like, it's especially bad. Like the all you can eat, like Chinese buffet that have the maybe fake sushi or whatever with the imitation crab and such. Oh, that's not a good time.
No, that's definitely not the way to go. I always, when you go to a grocery store and you kind of see that that sushi that's been sitting out all day, and I just kind of questioned myself. I'm like, who eats that at that point in time? Like I know that it was prepackaged, and they're probably doing their best to keep it out there. But I mean, if it's 9 o'clock at night, I'm not gonna be that one to pick it up. That's not going to be me. Looking in the chat, it looks like iMonkey giving some love to Soesic Esports right there. How plays given the hashtag Let's Go Whalers, and I'm not for certain who that is for, but yeah.
The
And
Whalers.
is the Whalers a team? Sorry, sometimes I don't understand exactly what we're looking at here because is the
It's just
Whalers
Captain
like
Jack desperately Googling right now.
yeah, what's the Whalers? Sorry, if it's a real sports thing, I'm not a sports guy, and if it's an esports thing, I don't follow all of esports. So
There's some degree of crossover now. We're seeing. I was watching some MLB players were playing MLB The Show. They had that match casted. That was like a whole thing, and then obviously like the e-race thing that's been going on with NASCAR, F1, and such. Like they've come over, and people are more than happy to watch them for whatever reason. Although I'm not sure how exciting the games themselves actually are. It's definitely something that's gotten a lot of attention here on Twitch. And then there's a whole Valorant thing going on, and the viewership says like 1.7 million, but I'm pretty sure everyone has like seven different tabs open. I'm not even sure if that works. If you're trying to get a key, I'm pretty sure Twitch tracks by IP. They can do the IP banning, so I'm assuming that opening multiple tabs doesn't work, but it hasn't stopped people from doing it and absolutely spamming the hell out of every single channel.
Say that one more time.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and do the same exact thing that you're doing for Valorant right now. Just open up that many Overwatch Tranquility streams would be much appreciated right now. Get some of that Valorant attention going over to Feeding America. I think that'd be a good way. There's a lot of Overwatch streams right now that I see with the title just like reprieve from Valorant. Sick and tired of watching Valorant streams, come here. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting to that point right about now.
All right. So, as we continue to hold off, I just want to remind you all that we've got an incredible match for you all. So the format of this tournament has been a first to three format, pretty typical for your basic single elimination style. I think the map pool is definitely something that is interesting looking at, and I did not see the previous matches between Lunaris and Soesic as they were working their way up the rankings. But for control point, we could be starting at anywhere from Lijiang Tower to Oasis to Busan. Now, each of those maps gives their own positives and negatives depending on the play style. So, what do you think that we might see? I believe Lunaris is the one that gets to pick this. What do you think we might end up seeing from Team Lunaris there, Door?
So if I'm being completely honest, there's two things here that I really want to highlight. One, no Paris, thank God. And number two, it's that we're going straight to Busan here. It was Lunaris' pick. They picked it earlier, so I can pretend like it's some big brain analyst prediction, but seems to be what everybody likes going to here. It used to be Lijiang that people would roll out on, but as of late, Busan has really come into favor. I feel like it's become my home as a caster. The beginning of every series just starts out with the same exact map every time, but I think these players are more than happy to oblige here as we have finally everybody up in the lobby and ready to go, just waiting for the connection to come in. I don't think we're going to be playing with any hero bans. I think we'll be playing with the standard 2-2-2 lock, so everything will be kosher here.
All right, it will be interesting to see how this goes ahead and starts out. It looks like our first map of the evening is going to be the Busan Mecha Base, and this is always one that can make or break a successful win, and it all comes down to those retractable defenses and paying attention to when those come down. A well-placed Diva Bomb, when those barriers go down, can literally obliterate an entire team, and so being astute with that, being able to know when those are coming up and down. Of course, you have the siren that's always active. So as long as you're paying attention to that, it can be incredibly beneficial. But right now, we're just kind of seeing the teams goof around as we're waiting for the match to start. And What do you think we might be seeing specifically on this map, knowing that we're in a 2-2-2 comp with no role lock? What kind of team comps do you think we might see coming out there, Door?
So the real issue here is I know just now it has been agreed that we're going with hero bans, and the hero bans are going to be Sombra, Reaper, Diva, and Ana. So the most current week's open division bans, which actually are meant to be played this weekend, upcoming. So we're going to get a little glimpse into what these teams want to run in their open division matches. In fact, both of these teams sitting at 7-3 in open division, this is actually going to be a really, really solid one. So with those bans in mind, I think the real question becomes, what are you going to be running for a main support? The Lucio, of course, is still open, but if you want to swap to something a little bit more bunkery, run that Zenyatta Baptiste, swap back over to running the Lucio Moira. I know every single main support loves being in Moira jail, but I think it's going to be dictated by that support matchup. The Diva being out is a little bit of a problem for the more meta Reinhardt Diva composition that's been going around, but I don't think the Zarya is that bad of a substitute for it. It just means it's going to be viable on less maps where you need to take advantage of the high ground and gain control of it. Then you might be wanting to see a little bit more dive, see something a little bit more mobile, but it looks like we're going to be getting a couple of interesting looks from these teams. It's going to be the Reinhardt Orisa locked in from the side of Lunaris. I do like what I'm seeing here. These Brigittas have becoming more and more prominent in the meta. Somehow the week that she was the week that she was banned was the week that she just started coming to fruition, so nobody really got to see it, but now we're going to see a lot of great Brigitte play, and these teams are going to look to duke it out here on Busan.
All right, it looks like we're actually going to go ahead and start off in Busan downtown as Maywall already coming up for Zora, getting immediately picked off by Twice. That wall not getting the value that it needs. We see the lamp going up right now with the accretion coming in, able to get that hit on to Kaim, but it's not going to be enough for them to go ahead and push on. They're going to continue to hold the point unlock and control, looking to go over to the side of Lunaris, but the fight is still being fought.
Yeah, this composition's a little bit tricky here for Soesic because they're running that double shield with the Brigitte. I'm not sure how much I agree with that decision. The Brigitte is something that's been ran lately with the Ana to help peel for dive, to help peel for a composition speeding on top of them. But when it's going to be an entire deathball composition here with the Orisa, with that Reinhardt, they've got the Lucio Moira, it's going to be a lot quicker, and that Brigitte is going to be able to get a lot less value. Right now, it is pretty much all in the hands of Waz to try and heal here, but does manage to find him a pick.
And that's a beautiful pick. Sora taking down Chime right there as the shatter comes in, but there's just too many shields. Can't shatter through shields, unfortunately. Kochan does take down Twice and Pure right there as they go ahead and make their way into the objective. 40% in climbing right now for Lunaris as Kochan and Norse Dude just go ahead and clean it all up. Control now swapping over to Soesic.
Yeah, a curious fight there for Lunaris, not peeling back at all, not trying to get away from that double shield composition set up on the high ground. Not sure how much I liked in the way that they approached that fight. I'd rather have seen them go to point. They have the Orisa, they have the stall composition, or the stall capability, but now they've got to make this long walk up against the Deadeye.
Ooh, the Deadeye comes out, but the wall coming out from Chime, looking to hold things together. Doesn't manage to get a whole lot of value. Now comes Sora with the Blizzard, looking to see if they can get one, and Devin will end up falling to Wazd right there. Kel following up onto Pure as the Coalescence ends up coming out from Geo, but is not going to get the value that they are looking for with 2 of their 6 players already out. Make that 3 as Geo ends up getting staggered by Kel. They're going to continue their percentage climb, 43-43, as Soesic takes the lead.
And smart play from Soesic, just watching for that Fortify to come out, using the Blizzard immediately after. There's no Diva to try and eat it. It's pretty much a guaranteed fight when the second that Orisa is gone. And the fact that Lunaris were pushing so slowly, even though they had a Lucio, their tanks were so far apart from the rest of their team, it was bound to fail.
I am very interested by the positioning coming out from Sora right there. As we see the Gravitic Flux coming up, just about everyone ends up getting out of it, whether it be Icicle or Fortify right there. Kel does end up getting the pick onto Pure. Like and Sora soon to follow getting picks of their own. And it looks like that is going to be another cleanup of the Lunaris team as we see Soesic hitting 80% and ringing out a team kill.
Now, this is a really weird position from Sora, because believe it or not, you actually do need to be relatively close to somebody to freeze them on the Mei, but it's worked out for him so far. They still have the opportunity to look for a wall here on the main choke, so I don't have too much of a problem with it right now, but you see there, where it really falls off, that wall is going to miss big time, and now Lunaris have a lot of ground to work with.
All right, Devin is already on the objective with the rest of Lunaris as we see them go ahead and grab it. Not even a fight to be had coming in from the side of Soesic. We see the bongos now coming out from Lunaris looking to see if they can make something happen. Blizzard from Chime looking to see if they can hold things together, but like will end up bringing out the Transcendence so that they can try to get back to the objective. But with Chime and Twice both getting picks on their counter DPS, they're going to go ahead and continue to hold 65% and climbing for the side of Lunaris.
Yeah, without that Mei being directly in your front line with the wall missing, there's pretty much nothing to dissuade Lunaris from just walking forward. They've got the Reinhardt, you don't, so walking towards you isn't really a threat when their team isn't going to be walled or frozen up. The Mei's out of the way, you have to let them get point there, and then from then on, it's all just trying to retake, and that's where Soesic really fell off. They got split up on the high ground, and their push just crumbled.
Oh my goodness, the battle of the Qs going on right now as the Blizzard comes down. Twice gets the double Deadeye right there, gets the triple on Sora. Blizzard doesn't end up getting much value, and we will see the capture complete for Lunaris, making it 1-0 here on Busan.
So it took a second there. Lunaris actually struggled for a moment after taking the point, allowed 99% to go over the way of Soesic, but I think at the core of it, Lunaris had a better idea of how to play their specific team composition. Soesic running that double shield, they just didn't look comfortable. Double shield is something that hasn't been played in a while, and running it with the Mei is a little bit curious given the way they wanted to position the Mei. I think heading here into Mecha Base, they're going to want to swap it off. I think the Reinhardt is almost a well, you can't really argue against the Reinhardt here. The range is going to be significantly closer. You can try and hold that high ground with the double shield, which it looks like they might just here, but they need to start playing it better, need to start having that Mei with them so that they can gain a lot more ground, as both teams actually going to be going double shield. Twice though on the Hanzo, the spam is going to offer so much damage here to run through these smaller shield house.
All right, we see the accretions coming out for either side. Ends up taking down Kel right there, but doesn't end up finalizing the kill. The lamp now coming out for Waz as Kochan taking down Ani's lamp in return. The point getting ready to unlock, currently being held by Lunaris as we go ahead and see it unlock. Now the push coming in from Soesic, looking to see if they can get it. Oh, but the retractable walls come out, preventing them from actually engaging right there. I told you, those walls are super important. Lunaris ends up going ahead and taking control of the objective, starting their climb already. Amplification Matrix coming out from Waz as we see the Gravitic Flex coming out in return from Pure, ends up getting a double right there with the help of Twice, cleaning up right there. Twice bitten everyone as they go ahead and take out the entire team. 20% in climbing for Lunaris.
And it's quality stuff here from Lunaris. It was getting a little dicey there. Soesic was coming up on their ultimates at absolute light speed. You can check out Sora. They have been getting that Blizzard up basically every single fight at this point, 80% after just the one. That's going to be a great tool for them to try and re-engage here, though. They got to watch out for Twice's Dragon Strike.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can hold together right now. The only one that's countering them on the high ground right now is Pure, so if they could end up getting that pick, that will be an effective 5v6 to push in on. But with everyone else on the high ground for the side of Lunaris, it's going to be difficult for them to move in on that. The accretion ends up missing, unfortunately, as the high noon now coming out from Kochan, looking to see if they can get a Dragon Strike coming in, but the lamp ends up saving the day, allowing them to get out of line of sight. Geo ends up getting the pick onto Kel as they go ahead and move their way through the enemy side right now, looking to get that additional pick, but Twice will end up taking down Waz right there. 72% in climbing right now for the side of Lunaris as Geo and Twice getting additional picks on that high ground. It looks like we are now in final fight territory as we see a lone McCree in the enemy spawn.
And it's hard to express how much Twice's Hanzo is doing for this fight right now. All of that spam going directly into that double shield composition, breaks it nearly immediately, makes it so hard to take space, but they've got a bongo in their face as well as a Blizzard. It's bad news bears here for Solaris.
The Transcendence ends up saving the day, though, as the counter Blizzard comes out from Sora. Ani ends up taking down Kochan in their backline as Kaim and Pure end up using the Gravitic Flux to get picks of their own. No one can touch. Lunaris will take away the victory here on Busan.
That was some really, really clean mecha-based play. They understood their composition. They understood where they were going to win, trying to take those long angles, playing up on that mini pack. putting the Sigma off on the side, making sure there was no funny business going on the flank. Managed to bank up a bunch of ultimates there, and then at that point, it is just an easy win for Lunaris. The first map was a little bit more dicey. They struggled to play on the Reinhardt, struggled to understand how to get in with their Lucio, but the second that they did, the second that Maywall missed, it was all money in the bank for the blue side.
Yep, and that was definitely unfortunate. Soesic does have the opportunity to be able to bring it back though as we head on to our escort maps. The choices for them will end up being Watchpoint Gibraltar, Dorado, or Junkatown. Looking in the chat right now, Sunburst OW giving some love. Pure heart, pure heart, pure heart. Trying to give some strength to Lunaris. Obviously, that ended up being very beneficial for them. Based on the way that Soesic ended up playing that last map, where do you think we might end up going there, Dor?
So I think the question is, do they want to keep running the bunker or not? They got outclassed outright on Mecha Base. I don't think you want to run the mirror matchup, but how confident are you in your dive? How confident are you in your Ryan Zarya? And it looks like we're going to be going over to Junkertown, so I think they want to be running a little bit more of that bunker composition. I suspect it's going to be double shield yet again from at least one of these teams. We could see an early spawn hold with something a little bit cheesier out of one of them, but I think Soesic's main objective is just to play their comfort comp. It seems like what they've been scrimming. Lunaris, though, they look real flexible, and I can't wait to see what they have to come out on the backside.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they work this. And I think if you're going to run a bunker, you should really dedicate to the bunker, especially as we move on to this escort map. You know, bring out the Bastion, bring out the Torbjorn, things that will be able to do an immense amount of damage that will actually utilize those shields in the bunker. Otherwise, you're not really getting the full value out of the protection that's trying to be given to your team. It will be interesting to see what they will be bringing out on this map. It looks like they're actually switching on to the attack, so they will get the first chance to see if they will make the attack so sick that Lunaris is not able to keep up with them? Or will Lunaris go ahead and make it a 2-0 before we go into the half?
Lunaris looking strong right now. I think the question is really going to be their flexibility. They've shown that they can play the double shield composition. I think Soesic is maybe one or two hero swaps away from having something better, but that Hanzo out of twice just offered so much for Lunaris, especially right there when the ranges got close and there was no real way to close the gap. I think we should have seen a quicker rotation instead of going main there. They decided to take a closer range battle where that McCree's going to be able to do a lot more, but it's all about the approach here when you're running the double or running the mirror match. And so it's really got to be Soesic figuring out what they need to do differently. We could see double sniper, we could see a Bastion, we could see the pirate ship come back out on cart. They need to have something in their back pocket though, because just playing the mirror matchup so far, definitely not working for them.
No, I agree with them there, and I agree with you there. And the double sniper composition is absolutely huge on this first point for Junkertown. So based on what we have already seen, that's something that we might expect from Lunaris, but it doesn't look like that's exactly what we're going to end up seeing. It looks like they're going to go for a double shield of their own with the Rhine Orisa again, and bringing out twice on that McCree. Whereas it looks like we have, I mean, they're in spawn for the next 20 seconds, so who knows what they might actually pick. But a Norse dude may be going on a Hammond, going on a little
they always try and mess with the casters. I won't say anything till they're out of spawn. You know, they're gonna look to do. Oh man, but look at what Lunaris are doing. They're lined up right outside the spawn. No Bastion to do it, but this Maywall is gonna be cheesy. Hope you like some cheddar here, because Lunaris are all about it.
Up, and there it is. They're already going to take down Norse dude immediately. Sora soon to follow, coming in on that Hanzo as they get taken down by Chime. And it's already a 4v6 fight. They're just going to go ahead and hold and spawn right now, seeing if they can get maybe a pick or two onto Lunaris while they wait for the regroup right there.
Pure.
Looks like now they're going to go ahead and move onto the high ground. Pure sitting off to the side, just waiting to see if they can get a cheeky tackle right there. As we see Kochan on the low ground with that Widowmaker. I'm not for certain exactly what is going on right here. We even got Mercy like pulling out that pistol to do damage. And that will be pure to fall right there to Sora as they go ahead and get pick after pick right now. Sora and Waz clearing the objective. The only one left to hold on to that are Geo and Chime, and they will fall soon after, but already a minute shaved off of that time bank.
Not bad stuff from Soesic, though. I do like what I saw when you're running a composition like that, when you're going to approach the point like that, do something cheesy up in the door. You're effectively offering up a question to your opponent. Can you solve this puzzle? And I think Soesic went about it in a good way. They identified the weak point, found the Reinhardt out, the Orisa got a little too over-aggressive, take them out, and then the fight's all yours.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. The accretion hitting a falling Devin right there puts them a little bit out of position, but able to regroup with the team very quickly. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock right now as we see the fight spreading out amongst this Junkertown point. As we see Lunaris moving into the objective, shields going up in every sort of direction as Twice now taking on the window, ends up taking down Coach and Kel to follow up on Ani. Gravitic Flux coming out, ends up getting Devin right there, and that will be the pick from Norse, dude, looking to see if they can continue to hold, but we're now seeing the Amp Matrix bringing in the Helium. Now the Dragons in return ends up missing just a little bit close to the objective. Blizzard, though, coming out from Chime to solidify that kill on Kel. Kochan soon to follow by Geo. 1 minute, 40 seconds on the clock as they prepare for another push.
Oh, wait, but like on the side of that map on the Mercy. Will they survive? Barely gets up. Okay, I think they're good. In that fight, though, cannot stress how important it was that Twice got where they needed to, when they needed to. Got that damage boosted Widowmaker coming in from the side, find a pick, start dishing out those body shots, and all of a sudden this ultimate game looking a lot more even here, nearly coming up on him are Lunaris.
All right, we see the Amp Matrix array coming out from Waz. Now the Bongos soon to follow, seeing if it can get some amplified damage, but that Matrix does not protect you right there. Twice hitting Waz right between the eyes. Devin soon to follow on to Kochan right there, but the objective is moving in. 2 meters left as the Gravitic Flux ends up getting to Devin and Geo to follow up with that damage, but Sora will end up taking down Devin, but the accretion will take down Sora. Pure absolutely dominating right now with 2 meters left on the cart and 30 seconds on the clock. Soesic has got to get their head out of the toilet and into this game.
That they do right now. Lunaris lighting it up. Twice is on fire on this Widowmaker. Both of them going to be popping sights, though. We're going to have to see what happens in this duel, because if they can shut down Twice, I think they stand a lot better at this push. But as it stands right now, the ultimates are going to come out from Lunaris, and they're going to look real powerful.
All right, the lamp already up right now for Waz. Does the Gravitic Flux coming up from Kel. Oh, but gets canceled out by the accretion right there. Amp Matrix now coming out. Kochan able to take down Twice. Sora follows up on Devin. They have the numbers to be able to keep it going, but that Amp Matrix is making it incredibly dangerous. Chime. They get it! 2.5 minutes added to the cart. Kel able to push it in there at the end. As we see now, Norse dude coming in on the Hammond, but honestly, there's no need for it. They have that extra time to push into objective number 2.
I know you guys can't see the chat right now, but if you guys could see the chat, he just took a leisurely stroll, guiding the point right on down, and honestly, there's not much to analyze there. Just go step on the cart, you dum-dums. Lunaris have to hold now, though, at a curious angle here, not one that we see often on Junkertown.
That is true. They're currently on the high ground above the objective, which is trying to defend it pretty difficult. Here comes the jump down with the Blizzard from Chime, looking to see if they can clean it up, though. The lamp saving the day as Norse dude able to take down Chime whilst following up on Devin, but not before Kel ends up falling as well. The Rev's going to come in from Like to go ahead and keep this payload moving right now. Pure trying to hold onto that low ground as much as possible as Like with the Mercy at the end of the Valkyrie, taking down Twice Kochan with the double of their own. The only one left near the objective right now is Pure, but the Maywall from Chime will go ahead and save them so they can regroup with their team.
Pure is coming in with the Gravitic Flux, so I can't stress this enough. This is entirely doable here for the side of Lunaris if they can push it together, if they can just get there in time with no Lucio. looks like they're just going to have to give this one up, back their way out, decide maybe not our fight, but they can hold early here. They've got an amplification matrix. There's a big, long lane here on point 3. They've got all the tools to try and stop Soesic here, and they need to do it now to stop that bleeding.
Well, it looks like Sora now coming in as the Doomfist ends up getting the first pick onto Geo as they move into objective number 3. The Gravitic Flux coming out ends up getting 1, but the lamp saving Kel's rear end right there as Chime trading up with Sora. Bongos now coming out as Devin and the rest of the team go ahead and clean up the cart once again. 2 minutes remaining on the clock as Sora trying to get back into the fight, ends up getting the pick onto Chime, but will not be able to further any additional picks.
Yeah, and on the back end, Kochan's going to eat an accretion, get that spawn advantage a little bit better for the side of Lunaris, reduce how much that one's going to matter. But Lunaris used so many ultimates in that last fight. They've got to build them up here, and they don't have time when there's a Gravitic Flux and a Meteor Strike in their face.
Absolutely. Takes down twice specifically, making sure they stay off that Hanzo. Now going for Pure, and Pure will actually end up taking themselves out, trying to get Sora. Kochan now in on the McCree, ends up getting a pick of their own as Chime, the last one to fall to that Sora Doomfist. 1 minute remaining on the clock.
And plenty of ultimates in the bank here for Soesic. When Lunaris used all their ultimates in that previous fight, they gave away a massive ultimate advantage, and now all of a sudden they're feeling the effects of that. They have the Dragon Strike, they've got the Blizzard, they're coming up on the Gravitic Flux. It's all a time game, though. Right now, getting those ultimates up on time to try and counter out this Gravitic Flux, counter out this amplification matrix. It's going to come out early, but it's already out.
All right, the Dragon Strike coming in, but we see the lamp holding everything together. Gravitic Flux and Amp Matrix coming out from Kel, and Sora ends up taking down Chime with the uppercut. Devin soon to follow, and like a set of dominoes, everything is coming up Soesic. 25 seconds remaining on the clock as they grab objective number 3.
And a beautifully fought fight wins it for Soesic. They understand that Blizzard's going to be coming up. The very first thing they pick off is going to be the Mei that had Blizzard in her back pocket. That Blizzard meant so much to the side of Lunaris. It would have meant the stall. It would have meant the Gravitic Flux coming up. It would have meant multiple other ultimates coming up at the same time. It would have meant a more possible hold for the side of Lunaris. However, we're staring at an entirely different game because of the way that Soesic played that fight. Now it's Soesic's turn. I highly doubt we're going to see the same sort of spawn hold here. We might. If it is, I suspect it'll be played better because the Reinhardt getting peeled off on the side of Lunaris was definitely a mistake. However, I think Lunaris have a lot on their plate here to try and complete this map. Junkertown's not an easy one, but they think they've got the tools to do it here. It looks like they want to run Orisa, and Pure is going to be just baiting us out here on what he wants to run for the other tank.
And it looks like we're going to see that mirrored double shield comp that we saw the first time around. Sora, though, sticking on that Doomfist has been incredibly beneficial to them, not being able to do so much against Devin with that protectability. But everyone else is pretty much punch and move into the nearest wall. So really working out for them if Sora is able to continue to land those shots. This may be a tied match as they move into halftime.
So I think this spawn hold has been found out by Lunaris. They have a bunch of time to react to it. They've seen the Reinhardt, they've seen the McCree, they've seen everything, but they're locked into a double sniper composition. It's extremely difficult to find picks in here, but it's going to be all up to Twice and Chime right now to try and take these off angles, try and just shoot through these tiny little openings to crack apart this composition that Soesic are offering up to them.
Yep, and it looks like we are seeing the engage from Soesic, looking to see if they can make it happen. We have Chime on that Hanzo rotating to the back line, looking to see if they can take down Sora with the support of Ani right there. Ani falling incredibly low, though, as Chime able to get the pick onto Kochan with the Storm Arrow. That's going to give them the opening they need if they can make it happen, but the rest of the team getting chased back into spawn. Chime able to take down Sora as well with no DPS on the objective. They may Pure. I don't know what happened there. Pure just decided to go ahead and take a leap right off the side, but Chime is cleaning it up with the help of Ani. That beautiful pocket is going to allow them to pick off every single remaining player from the side of Soesic. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock.
What a gorgeous flank from Chime. Sending Ani with them. Beautifully done taking care of that spawn camp. You get the wide angle. All of a sudden, that competition needs to split apart. You've got a McCree on the high ground that is now being caught out. Now with their team, they can't afford to get back, and you start exploiting all these little holes in that defense. But as I say that, ooh, Soesic are striking back.
Yep, Northstud immediately getting that pick, but Twice returning the favor as they take Wazd out of the fight, but that's going to get rezzed up by Like, as well as Ani rezzing up Chime. The Dragon Strike now coming out with the hold to bring them all together, but the lamp saving the day once again. Sora now out as the Genji ends up getting picked off with Kochan right there by Twice. It almost seems like Twice does things in twos. I'm not for certain why. Chime coming out with the Storm Arrow ends up getting the double kill onto Like and Waz, and they will continue to move their way into Objective 1 with 2 minutes on the clock.
You know, maybe people do live up to their names. I had a Lucio in my quick play game yesterday. His name was Third, and he wanted us to throw the second map of Control Point solely so that he could go through a third map. So Twice might be doing the same thing here, just searching for headshots and doubles, and a fantastic play nonetheless. I much prefer that to my Lucio. And getting them an ultimate advantage as well. They've got the sights coming up, they've got the Gravitic Flux, plenty of stuff in their back pocket to try and win this fight, especially tools that are going to let them extend the fight and just gain space for free, like the Bongo, like that Valkyrie.
All right, and it looks like we have an interesting flank coming in here from both Pure and Twice, taking control of the high ground behind Soesic, who is engaging on the objective. The Bongos and Lamps end up going down for either team as Twice able to get the pick on Sora, but Cal returning the favor on Devin. A Dragon Strike coming out once again with the Lamp down. It's hard to keep it going. Rez is coming in for both Sora and Devin as they continue to fight for control of the objective, but the teams are on opposite sides of where they were actually spawning, and I'm not for certain how I feel about that. Kochan will end up picking down Twice, with Devin taking down Northstud. In return, the only one left will be Sora, now coming in on that Hanzo, as we see Kochan trying to hold strong, but against the double shield, there's only so much a Widow can do. They're going to retreat back to the safety of the team with 3 minutes remaining on the clock.
No one can.
So the real critical error there from Soesic was not realizing that Lunaris just earlier this week became the world champions of Ring Around the Rosie. They take them on in their own game, and they're going to win that one every day of the week. Good rotations, though, from Lunaris. Net them a nice win, but Soesic have plenty of ultimates to stand in their way here.
All right, they're moving their way to the high ground as Devin immediately getting the first pick on to Kochan. Gravitic Flux coming out as the Lamp ends up getting taken down. Pure will get some value out of that Gravitic after all, but Sora with the Storm Arrow takes down Geo in return, ends up falling to Twice there at the end, with Chime getting the double kill. The res coming in for Ani as they get that 3 minutes, 45 seconds in the time bank now to make it to Objective 3.
And it is just the Twice and Chime show right now. These two DPS, given all the space that their tanks and supports are making, are absolutely ruining the health bars of Soesic right now. Soesic coming in, though. They've got Gravitic Flux. They've got the Dragon to combo with it. All they need to do is avoid dying to Chime's Dragon, which could be huge. Looking to split this double shield composition in half. It is Kiva Thor and Kochan fire right back to the DPS of Lunaris.
And it looks like they're making it happen right now. Sora falling low, but connected to Like, but Twice taking Like out of the fight is going to make it hard for them to continue to hold. Twice sitting in the back line right now, ends up getting picked off by Kochan. Dragon Strike going on to the objective, ends up splitting out the teams. The Orissas going at one another. Northstud will soon fall to Devin, though, as Chime taking down Sora there onto the high ground. The only one left nearby is Kel, and will end up falling to Devin as well. Waz jumping onto the objective, I guess, just to try to keep it from moving. Will get staggered as Kochan getting the pick onto Twice once again, trying to retreat back to the safety of the team, but will get picked off by Chime. In return, the res coming in from Like to try to keep things going as they get prepared for another defense.
Northstud overextended, got picked there, but now it's a dead even fight here with both teams having plenty of ultimates, and Thor finding first pick's huge here.
And it is continuing to go. Bongos versus Amp Matrix. Here comes their Gravitic, looking to see if it can solidify a pick. Cal will take down Devin, Sora, and Kochan to follow as Sora swapping back over to that Doomfest. Waz will take down Chime as well with 2 minutes remaining on the clock. That payload is incredibly close to its final resting place.
Ooh, right in the dome. Twice gets taken out, and now it's going to be Lunaris. That's a lot of time off the clock right now, and if one more pick comes out from Soesic, we might be looking right around that last fight, 2 more fights territory.
All right, well, let's see if they can continue to hold. Sora trying to see if they can engage, ends up getting halted out of position. So they're going to have to go ahead and retreat to the rest of the team. A minute 30 now remaining on the clock as they are holding this corner with all their life amplification matrix coming out, trying to fight against the lamp for the other side that's going to end up wearing it out. But who's going to get picked first? It's going to be Twice. Gets picked off by Coach N with Sora, soon to follow on to Chime. That's a 4-man Gravitic with no lamp to save as Pure ends up taking down Life, but Sora and Coach N are racking up the kills right now. 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock as Devin falls to kill.
And so much committed in that fight. So much time as well from the side of Lunaris. They're coming at this one with just the Dragon Strike here. Sora and Kel, they're going to have the combo of Gravitic Flux and Meteor Strike here. If they can just land it, it's going to be a little bit tricky given all this open space. And trying to find those snipers that are inevitably going to be on the high ground will be a bit of a problem here. But if they can just take out one of these tanks earlier on in the fight, could be huge.
Woo, that was a beautiful halt coming in from Norse, dude. Ends up getting the tanks off of that high ground, but the Dragon Strike in return ends up taking Like out of the picture. Norse, dude, soon to follow with Wazd in tow as well. 30 seconds remaining on the clock as they're just trying to get picks. No one's even moving towards the objective right now. Ah, there we go. Devin getting their way on the objective, but soon to abandon it as Geo now taking over, pushing the cart. Only 15 seconds remain. Final push territory. Here it is, folks. Will they take it, or will this be the first win for Soesic?
They need to start buying space right now. Use those ultimates proactively before they come up from the side of Soesic. There it is. The bongo comes out first, starting this fight off.
All right, the lamp now coming up, ends up getting taken down by Chime as they're trying to hold the corner, looking to see if they can make it happen. Gravitic Flux coming out, lifting them off the objective, but overtime isn't ticking away fast enough as they bring in the lamp. Now Gravitic Flux coming out for the other side, along with that amp matrix, looking to see if they can clean it up. Twice, and Devin ends up getting picks on the objective. Chime and Geo soon to follow up. The only one left on the objective right now is Like, ends up getting taken out as the Doom ends up getting picked off by Twice right out of the gate. Now 1 minute to 1 minute and 25 as we see Lunaris return back to the attack.
And as much as they were making me nervous by not using ultimates a little bit earlier, Lunaris did end up using them in time, proactively placing down that bongo. And as much as the bongo might break, I'll tell you what's not going to shatter, and that's Baptiste's window. They throw it out, that damage gets amplified, the tanks start getting chunked out on the side of Soesic, and it's going to be a map completed here for the side of Lunaris. However, these time banks are just dead even. 1 minute to 125 here. I'm interested to see what these teams come out, whether they want to swap up these compositions or not. I really like Chime in Twice on this double sniper, and I think it's a great idea that they're going to be running it again. However, I think Soesic have some things to look at here, especially when it comes to the DPS composition.
No, I definitely agree with you there. It's going to be interesting to see if they hold that spawn door again, like they've been doing back and forth between the teams. But I'm not for certain if that's what'll end up happening. It looks like we're going to see double sniper versus double sniper, literally a mirror compositions, except for the supports. Wasden Like coming in as the Batiste and Zenyatta, with Ani and Geo coming in as the Batiste and Mercy. So let's go ahead and see if they can make some history tonight. Only a minute left on the clock. Let's see how far that cart will end up getting pushed. Moving on to the high ground right now, trying to take down Sora is Pure. Chime chasing them down, looking to see if they can get that pick as we see the Sonic Arrow revealing what can be seen. Norse Dude taking down Devin, but the trade comes in with Twice and Waz taking down Kochan and Chime. Like will follow up on Ani, and without enough players to push in, 30 seconds remain.
They got plenty of time to get this spawn in, and they do have the advantage of running that Mercy. That res can come out early in a fight. However, if this Zenyatta is allowed to get up Transcendence, it is all but in the books right now for Soesic as they look to start this defense right back up.
All right, they're looking to make their way in. Devin and Geo on the high ground, but end up getting halted off there at the end. Now we were dedicating the lamp, but immediately gets taken down by Norse Dude as Twice follows up on Sora. They are pushing it just a little bit more. 25 meters currently left on the, or pushed on the objective right now as the picks start coming in for Lunaris. Overtime now ticking away. The only one left near the objective is Kochan, and will get taken down by Pure. But this is overtime, baby. It is all about getting the players off the cart right now and trying to fight quickly. What will end up happening?
And for the side of Soesic, that ultimate from Pure cannot come quick enough. Kel as well, trying to get his up so he can lift those players off cart, because they step off for just a quarter of a second. It is going to be bad news bear here for the side of Lunaris, but the ultimate's already firing off. The amplification matrix is going to buy them a lot of space.
That is true. As we see the accretion come in, Geo gets the pick onto North Student. That's objective number 1 taken. As we see now Kel jumping in on the objective, looking to see if they can get that gravitic flux in enough time, but getting taken down by Chime just before that, as well as Kochan falling to that storm arrow. Overtime continues to tick away as they move their way into objective number 2.
Yeah, I think Kel moving forward there, getting that gravitic flux up. He hits the accretion. He hits a couple shots afterwards, gets him that last little bit of percentage. I think he's nervous to use it there for fear of getting stunned out. That is a massive game-winning tool that they have in their back pocket. You don't want it to just go by the wayside. However, now Lunaris pretty much have the same set of ultimates in their back pocket with the sights as well.
Whoa! Dragon Strike going on the objective as the gravitic flux comes out in return from Pure. The lamp saving the day on either side, though, as the gravitic takes them off the objective just long enough. Can't fall soon enough to be able to get back on it. Round 3 is complete with 64 meters pushed on objective 2.
And now that's what we call a Sig 9 here. To be stopped. The push from Lunaris only making it about halfway through the map, but I gotta say, that is a really solid push there from Lunaris. Making it that far is something that is not particularly easy with just a minute on the clock. A minute 25, I don't think those 25 seconds are really going to matter all that much for the side of Soesic. That's just enough time to get him there.
Adora, we're losing you there on your mic for a little bit, so maybe check your connection, see what's going on over there. But I definitely agree with you. That Sigma 9 was definitely well placed. I know we saw Pure on that Sigma as well, looking to see if they could get the value out of their gravitic flux before, but with the lamp already online, it was just not good for them to use. 25 seconds on the clock as we wait for our final round. Will Soesic be able to push to that 64 meters there at the end of objective number 2, or will they end up getting spawn held here? We're again seeing this double sniper composition coming out with just the heals being different, Wazd and Ani on that Mercy and Zenyatta respectfully, and they're going to go ahead and start moving their way out. A minute 24 on the clock as we already see the halt coming in, but the Rock gets no value twice, able to pick off Sora though, as Norse dude working their way onto the high ground, looking to see if they can rain down bullets twice. We'll pick down Kochan as well, as the accretion getting some value. Chime again with the flank, but only ends up getting Waz as the lamp saves the day. 60 seconds remaining on the clock right now. Are you back with us, Dor?
Am I? I think it's a real question.
You are. You're good.
All right. I'll tell you what's working right now for Lunaris. It's Chime's Hanzo. You pocket it with Ani's Mercy. I haven't seen the Mercy go down without the fight being lost. Doing a great job staying alive, and Chime is doing a fantastic job of taking advantage of that damage, bursting through those shields. It has been huge for Lunaris, and they're looking to win the shield war yet again.
All right, they're moving their way in as we Chime on that high ground, right over to see if they can get some damage in that backline. Sora playing ring around the rosy right now with Chime as they just go in and out of the shield battle. Kel and Chime trading blows as the Dragon Strike going off, but doesn't end up getting a whole lot of value. The card's not there, folks, as Ani does come in with the res. Kochan and Pure trading blows on the objective. The res ends up coming in for Sora. Only 7 seconds remaining. Somebody's got to be able to touch that objective to keep it going, but no, Sora, the closest one, ends up getting taken out. Overtime ticking away right now as we see the gravitic flux used on Waz. Pure will end up taking them out of the fight. Now we're seeing Kel on that high ground trying to get at least a little bit of healing as the gravitic flux now coming in for Kel. Gets no value whatsoever. That lamp holds. Lunaris will go ahead and take Junkertown, bringing us 2-0 as we head into halftime.
I've got to say, Soesic didn't cut their losses there. They lost a fight at 15 seconds, and that is just a death sentence when it comes to 1 minute overtime. Lunaris did a much better job of understanding, hey, we lost this fight. We're going to back out, try and take the next one. It allowed them to have just about 30 or 40 seconds before their second fight. And those 15 seconds just matter so much. Being able to set yourself up, being able to position, not to mention your double sniper, Chime, and Twice just popped off on the Widowmaker and Hans. Oh my god, they were ruthless on that team composition.
I definitely agree with you. Soesic, definitely head back into the locker room and see what you can do to improve. We're going to go ahead and send it to a 10-minute halftime, producer. Yes? All right, we're sending it to an undisclosed amount of time halftime. Be sure to hit that exclamation donate in the chat so that you're able to get to that link for the Feeding America charity that we are raising money for during this tournament. We'll be back with more amazing action in a few minutes.
Is it just cutting out?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility as we host the second semifinals match here between Lunaris and Soesic. I am Captain Jack, your play-by-play, joined by Door on Color and Meilu, who is the organizer of all this, coming to tell us a little bit more about the cause we're raising money for.
Hi guys. So yeah, I'm Meilu, and we organized this tournament for Feeding America. 1 in 9 people struggle with hunger, and that's not just during COVID-19. During COVID-19, the number's even higher. People are out of work, children are out of school that don't have their free or reduced lunches. So the general population is relying more on charities whenever they are struggling to find food. And these charities aren't getting as many donations during COVID-19. So we wanted to host this tournament to benefit them and help alleviate some of that pain. So if you guys have a few spare dollars, I know it's a really rough time, but if you have a few spare dollars, do exclamation point donate in the Twitch channel, in the Twitch chat, and it'll pop up with the GoFundMe. All that money goes straight to Feeding America. It means a lot. Thank you guys. I hope you guys are all staying safe. It's really appreciated.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Meilu. The goal for this evening is $1,000, and we're currently sitting at $275. So be sure hit that exclamation donate in the chat right now so that you can go ahead and see what all of this is about and donate what spare dollars you have. It goes to an incredibly good cause. Dora, go ahead and join me back here at the desk and tell us, what did we see in the first half and what do we plan on possibly seeing here in the second?
We saw Lunaris mechanically dominating over Soesic Esports. Soesic did significantly better on Junkertown. They seem a lot more comfortable on the bunker composition, but I think overall, ultimate usage as well as target focus for Lunaris is a big key to the reason they're winning. Soesic is overextending one member by not just a yard, not just a little bit, but like a long ways. And every single time, Lunaris is punishing that mistake, getting themselves a pick, dragging themselves back into fights that they have absolutely no right to win. And that's what Soesic really needs to look to clean up here as we go to King's Row. And I suspect we'll be seeing new compositions. We've seen Soesic run double shield pretty much the entire time. Now it's pretty much, I'm not going to guarantee a Reinhardt Zarya, but I can't help but hope that we're going to be seeing some Reinhardt Zarya, as I'm down for a change of pace here on Kings.
I mean, it's Scrim's Row. If you don't play Ryan Zarya, you're honestly throwing at this point. I mean, come on. That's really what it ends up coming down to. Cherry Lemnix in the chat, thank you so much for hitting that exclamation donate. All that information about Feeding America during the COVID-19 crisis is right there with that GoFundMe link. Be sure to hit that link, just like you should punch that bell, so you get notified every time we're online here at Overwatch Tranquility as well. And we're just waiting for the match to start right now, but it looks like we could be seeing some interesting compositions. You know, Scrim's Row is one of those maps that just everyone loves to play because there's so many different ways to play it. Like, you do have the traditional Ryan Zarya. This might as well have been called Goats Row in Overwatch League Season 1 with the many times of Goats being played on this map. But honestly, it could end up being anything. You could see that double sniper, double shield comp again. You could end up seeing, you know,
we've got a Torbjorn 1v1 going on in the waiting match.
Oh,
Twice
yeah.
on
I love it.
The hammer's down, but Twice is the winner. The hammer won.
But gets taken down by leg.
Champion. I know you guys didn't get to see that, but it was a treat here. Is now the teams are actually going to be locking in what heroes they decide to play. Like we already talked about, the Reinhardt Zarya, very likely. I think the big question is Lunaris' DPS. We've seen them run with the Lucio Moira. I don't suspect anything different than that. They're going to be on the defense. There's an opportunity for them to run the double shield, especially here on the first point. But I think they're more comfortable on the Reinhardt. They look like they wanted to play it on Busan. I wouldn't be surprised to see it locked in here again, as yes, Pure is on Zarya. I can only help but assume that it's going to be Reinhardt Zarya with the Lucio Moira. The DPS, though, Chime on Genji and Twice on a McCree here. It's getting a little bit spicy, and there's no Ana paired with this Genji. He's going to be having a very, very hard time getting kills with these naked blades. But on the side of Soesic, we see, okay, I'm going to give them time to lock in their heroes, decide what they want to play before I start analyzing what they're going to do with the Wrecking Ball, Bastion, and a Winston. But
it would definitely be an interesting move.
yeah.
I'll give you that one. Definitely asserting dominance would be the goal of that one. Yep, we're gonna see some Ryan Zarya versus some double shield action right here. Definitely gonna be interesting to see how this gets locked down. Lunaris ready on that defense, and
is Soesic gonna move out of spawn? I feel like it. Okay, there they go.
They're setting up on the high ground, but immediately getting damaged into oblivion right there. So
oh, they swap. They full swap.
Oh,
but they keep the Bastion.
Yeah. You know what? Whatever works at this point. Whatever works. This is their last fight, their last ability to be able to take this. Chime has moved over back to that Mei, which is absolutely good for this choke point right here. Norse Dude a little bit out of position, but we're now going to see Soesic and the rest of the team move right in. Twice takes down Sora, but Kochan following up on Devin in return. It's a 5v5 fight as we see Nordstube swinging for the heavens. The Fire Strike comes in, gets some damage, but not able to get the kill. Getting caught a little bit out of position. The shield goes down, and Pure will end up getting that pick as the res comes in for Waz. It's not going to be enough for them to continue to push. With 2 minutes, 50 seconds, they're going to go ahead and retreat with another getting picked off there in the end.
And that's that target focus that I mentioned earlier. As much as Devin went down earlier in the fight, a smart disengage from Lunaris, and then the second that Norse Dude overextends, the second that Resurrect comes out, everyone goes the wrong way around that statue. They catch out the Reinhardt, take him down, follow up with a boatload of damage from Pure being on that fully charged Zarya, and it is just curtains right now for Soesic. And the ultimates even, Lunaris have plenty of them back to push up.
All right, tank mode coming out along with the Coalescence. Kochan able to get the first pick onto Ani as we see the High Noon coming out from Twice, just trying to zone out the objective. Coalescence soon to follow, though, by Geo, looking to see if they can move their way in. But Sora will take down Chime. Pure to follow on to Waz. Now the Doomfist of Sora coming in to do some damage. Kel ends up solidifying that kill as they send Lunaris running back to the other side of the Adderworth Hotel. Twice will end up taking down Sora as they go ahead and get first tick on the objective. Kochan melting Ani right there. Second tick as the Maywall comes up for Chime, looking to get into that objective. The Blizzard comes down. Everyone's able to get out safely, though, so it ends up being wasted. Graviton coming in as the Bastion rains damage into it. Twice able to take down Kochan, but it is not enough. There are too many deaths on the objective for them to continue to hold on to this. Ani using that Red Lucio to try to hold on, but with a minute 20 left on the clock, they're going to go ahead and grab objective Alpha and start moving that payload through the streets phase.
And that second fight was well played by Soesic, but I want to focus on the one before, because there's a critical error made by Lunaris getting over aggressive up against a Bastion. It can be really hard to tell when you need to be making your push in towards them, but they drop in the Coalescence. They're trying to peek him repeatedly with the Reinhardt. They get way too greedy with it and give up way too good of a position. Now nobody here is contesting the high ground. I think this is something you really want to be thinking about, especially when you don't have anything that can really fly up there. The Graviton is...
Yeah.
Okay, Pure. Oh, wait. Watch Kochan. Watch Kochan.
Oh, we see tank mode coming from behind, though. Kochan boosted as we see the beat drop coming in, trying to save the day there for Lunaris. Norse Dude will take down Devin with a dastardly fire strike. Kel soon to follow with Waz in tow with that Moira ball. And like a set of dominoes, they all fall down. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock as they furiously make their way through the street.
And Lunaris look like a completely different team right now. They have no clue how to deal with this Bastion. Every other matchup they look completely confident in. They knew how to engage against Bunker. They knew how to win the mirror matchup with the Reinhardt. They could figure out the Bunker mirror matchup. But all of a sudden you throw this Bastion into the mix and they just get so hyper-focused on him and get way too aggressive, and now they're getting pushed in on second point here.
All right, Meteor Strike coming in from Sora. Now High Noon out for Twice, looking to see if it gets some value, gets nothing but shield. The Bastion currently on the high ground. Kochan looking to see if they can get some picks, but it's all out of position. Devin ends up getting the tackle onto Kel as the res comes in. For Nose, dude swinging that hammer to the heavens will end up taking Devin out of the picture. Pure trying to hold on now with the Coalescence now coming out from Geo, looking to see if it can put everything together. The repositioning from Kochan, looking to see if it can get some damage. And Shatter coming in from Norse, dude gets the double as Pure and Geo end up falling. Kochan and Sora follow up on Chime Twice, grab objective 2, and move into objective 3.
And Soesic are still feeling the effects of point A when Lunaris gave them the ultimate advantage. They have been riding that wave all the way here to point C, and it has gotten them far over. Now they've got a Graviton Surge. They're 80% away from that Meteor Strike. We might be seeing a little bit of Space Jam action come this next fight.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Tank mode coming out from Kochan once again, looking to see if they can get some damage. Shield Ore down for Devin as the uppercut coming in from Sora. Meteor Strike coming in, ends up going for Chime on the high ground, but ends up getting there unsuccessfully. The uppercut to follow up as Devin falling to the Fire Strike twice, also to the Fire Strike. Norse dude is on fire right now, laying down that big old hammer, but now Devin is back into the mix as the Hammond, but getting melted by Kochan. Everyone and anyone is getting those Bastion bullets, and with 2:22 on the clock, they will grab objective number 3 and head into round 2.
Well, we questioned Soesic locking in that Bastion there at the beginning of the map, but I suppose we're not allowed to do that anymore. Seem to be the foil to Lunaris. They just have no clue how to counter this one. And honestly, I think the answer is just position yourselves a little bit better. You don't need to immediately take the fight on the Bastion at the earliest possible time. You don't need to take these long angles against him. Instead, be looking to use high ground, be looking to use walls to your advantage, force out fights on corners where the Bastion can't see around. But it's been good positioning from the side of Soesic, getting that Bastion into more unique positions, trying to catch them out, and it's worked for them so far. But Lunaris, I think, really just fallen off on this map so far. They rode that wave of just ultimate disadvantage all the way back to their own point, and Soesic were just cruising through the map, and I think they're going to look to lock in something real similar here with this Torbjorn. I do like this pick.
All right, and it looks like they got Light coming in on the Brig as well, looking to get aggressive with Norse Dude. May have been the support that they were needing during that entire time, because sometimes we'd see Norse Dude getting a little bit out of position and ends up getting picked off, but if you got a Brig in tow, that could end up making or breaking your defense right here. But for the offense, again, we're not going to go ahead and say what they'll be coming out with, but I feel like we're going to be seeing some Deadlock Gang action here, and that is, so close.
Almost. Good try.
Almost some Deadlock action right there. Could have been beautiful, but Chime's still going to go ahead and move in with that May, already getting the separation with the wall 3-on-3 as the Torb turret on the high ground trying to do some damage, but now out of line of sight. Sora trying to go into that back line, but ends up getting frozen out by Chime, had to escape. Norse Dude able to follow up with that damage, taking down Geo. Sora following up on Devin as well, and they're going to continue to hold that out as we see Chime just taking it straight to the face right there. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as they set up for another push.
I think we're just finding out what happens when you go into a small room up against a Brigitte. I don't think that that outcome was too hard to predict there, but now they've given so much ultimate charge over to Soesic. They're right up on that Shatter. They're coming up on the Molten Core. They've got the Graviton in tow. They've got a lot of combos they can look to use here.
Well, the Coalescence Ore coming out from Geo, looking to see if they can lead in with it, and will successfully take down Norse Dude. Devin to follow up onto Like as the Graviton Molten Core combo comes out, whilst also throwing in the Coalescence for giggles, and they're going to go ahead and push Lunaris back to spawn once again. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock.
And that Graviton Surge along with the Molten Core combo, as much as the Molten Core came out first this time, it is so potent because, oh, wait a minute, the Maywall Shatter!
Shatter! But the Maywall separating out the teams. They're not able to get as much value as they would like. The Graviton now coming in as Twice gets the double with the Deadeye right there. They're going to go ahead and clear the objective. The only one left standing is a lone Torb turret, and will end up falling soon. 2 minutes remaining on the clock as Objective Alpha is captured, and they move into the streets phase.
Now, a good push from Lunaris, and it's hard to expect anything better than what we saw out of Soesic, the way they were cruising through the map. But Soesic are going to be able to stabilize here. They've got a couple corners. They've gotten most of, if not all their spawns. I think they have them here. Oh, no! Oh, but Cal's caught out. He's only making around the wall is a question.
Waz coming back from the far spawn is going to put them at a little bit of a disadvantage right now as we see them giving up plenty of room. We see Pure trying to solo Kochan right there as it's twice able to take down that turret. Chime will end up falling to Sora as well as twice. Both DPS out of the fight. They're just trying to get out of there. Sora is a man on a mission right now with 3. Kel and Kochan soon to follow. Sora will get that 4th kill in their gauntlet, almost making that beautiful, beautiful gauntlet shine. 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock as they prepare for another defense.
And this could not be worse right now for the side of Lunaris. Giving up that choke is absolutely huge, especially when you have a Mei. It's something that you could use your advantage. In fact, they do! Oh, boy, but there's
the Molten Core comes in, trying to solidify some damage in the Blizzard as everyone escapes. Sora diving back, but not realizing that it was right there. As we now see the Coalescence coming out from Geo, Sora will take down Chime again in that backline. Devin soon to follow to that Doomfist gauntlet, and they will regain control of the objective. 3 minutes on the clock as they prepare for another defense.
And Molten Core on top of the Blizzard, we'll call that one icy hot because all it did for Soesic was good things, kept the push away from Lunaris, didn't allow them to engage on their powerful ultimate. Now they've got to take a more unique path here to the point, but they might just get caught out.
They are absolutely going for Sora and will end up falling. The Graviton comes down though as the beat soon to follow, looking to hold everything together. Amp Matrix getting invested by Like, but it's not going to be enough with Northstone and Kochan falling right there. The only one left near the objective is Like and Kel. They will follow as well as the rest of their team. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as we see Lunaris take it to the streets.
And losing Sora is really important, especially when you're playing into this maze. About the only thing that's going to be peeling for your Reinhardt almost instantly. You can start the engage on the backline, force the attention to go somewhere else, but the second you lose him on the high ground, it is just game over here. Now all of a sudden it's going to be Lunaris having plenty of ultimates to try and win. So when the Graviton starts the Coalescence to try and combo with it, they are set up to win this fight right now.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. Sora diving into the backline as the High Noon comes out from twice, takes down Kel in that Graviton surge. Gets the freeze onto North. It's a shatter! Ends up getting Pure, but not able to get that follow-up in as Waz follows up on Chime. The Coalescence coming out to do damage as Devin ends up falling to the Fire Strike of Northstone twice, lighting up the kill feed right now as they get the double. Still continuing to push in is Pure and Ani trying to get it that little bit. 2 meters remaining, 1 minute 20 seconds on the clock, but the regroup coming back in quickly for Soesic because they have the spawn advantage right there, continuing to push back. Kochan now on that Junkrat will take Ani out, but Kel soon to follow by twice as the Meteor Strike comes in, ends up getting 2, but the Blizzard solidifies the victory right there as Chime able to get him there. Oh no!
Wait, does it?
Able to dedicate their body just a little bit after the Blizzard is popped. 0.48 meters, the continued trade as Pure gets the double kill. Waz following up onto Devin. They're continuing to try to push in there. It is a feed from both sides right now as they continue to keep this objective from moving in twice. Able to get the pick onto Kochan as they continue to hold this 0.48 meters push remaining to get time off of that clock as we see Sora now coming back in as the Doomfist gets the uppercut on the twice, shutting down the main source of power. Geo and Pure getting picks on the objective, pushing everyone off, and finally get that objective. 1 minute 50 seconds remaining on the clock.
Boy, oh boy, what a hold. Plenty of time taken off the clock. However, it's going to be Lunaris coming away with a huge ultimate advantage right now. I cannot stress this enough. Having that shot of the Coalescence, 2 support ultimates to try and help your team last in this fight. It's going to be all sustained here as we head into point C.
All right, Sora Ore moving their way into the backline as the Maywall separates out. Shatter comes down but gets nothing but shield. The beat drop now coming in for Ani, trying to save from the Graviton and will be successful as Chime taking down Northstone right now. I believe I am hearing a Bastion, and I am true. Kochan coming back in as the Bastion, trying to do some damage, but currently running away with no shields to be able to get behind. It's really hard to be putting in that damage. Sora and Kel trading blows with Chime as they go ahead and try to clear it. North Dude ends up taking down twice, and Like and Kel will go ahead and clear that objective. Pure last to fall to North Dude's big old hammer. 45 seconds remain for this objective to be captured.
However, 45 seconds is going to be enough for them to get up the Graviton, get up the Blizzard, guarantee themselves a fight when effectively here no sound barrier on the side of Soesic means this fight is going to be a rough one, but the wall's even better right now. North Dude's caught out.
The Blizzard Ore coming up, but we see the bubble keeping them in that fight. Sora ends up getting caught in there just at the end, and Devin and Pure will take down Sora and Norse Dude. Didn't get the value that they were looking for, but they still have the Graviton and Deadeye online as Chime ends up falling to Kel. It is a 5v2 right now near the objective as Pure trying to chase down Kochan. Will end up getting supported. Graviton Surge coming in as the take mode, looking to see if it can do damage. Will end up falling to Devin's hammer. Shatter ends up coming in from Devin as well, but does not get the value that they are looking for. Overtime ticking away as the Coalescence coming up from Geo, looking to see if they can solidify some damage and some heals. Sora ends up getting stunned as they move into the backline. Overtime continuing to tick as the push coming in from Soesic is keeping them out. Holding 3, Kochan melts them all. Overtime will take it away, and Soesic Esports will get their first victory of the night here on Kings Row.
And that would not have happened had they not staggered earlier on point B, had they not gotten so much time off the clock in every single one of those fights. Soesic doing a fantastic job of playing the sustain comp and playing it beautifully, using all of their tools to their advantage. I've got to say, they have a much better understanding of this comp, it seems, than the double shield composition, and I want to see them run it more, but it's going to be Lunaris' map pick, as we're going to be going to Hanamura, Volskaya, or Horizon Lunar Colony, all of which are going to be a little bit difficult for them because I don't suspect on the attack we'll be seeing that much double shield from the attacking side, so you can't force Soesic off onto something that they don't want to play. I suppose Soesic are going to be wanting to play the exact same composition they did there because they were doing it beautifully. However, another beautiful thing we are doing tonight is this stream for charity. Feeding America doing a fantastic job at helping a lot of people through this hard time with the COVID-19 going around. It is difficult for a lot of people to get food. There's children out of school, parents out of jobs. Those free and reduced lunches for those children in school all of a sudden are not an option for them. So Feeding America has been doing a great job supporting them, but they can't get enough help themselves. So if you have the bonus income or anything that you can offer up, go ahead and type that exclamation point donate in the chat. It would be much, much appreciated. But Captain Jack, we're headed on to a map 4. I thought it was in the books for Lunaris. The way those previous 2 maps were played, they were out of their mind. Their DPS were popping off. Soesic, though, just fire right back.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive. Kochan coming in on that Bastion, and I mean, if you pay attention to any Overwatch community communication, everyone absolutely hates Bastion. It's almost like a sin if you ever run a Bastion in a competitive match, because why would Bastion ever be a useful hero? But we're seeing it tonight. Soesic absolutely shutting down Lunaris, and Lunaris having no idea how to really do anything against it right now. And it's really going to come down to Lunaris figuring out how they're going to take this attack. Soesic, I would recommend continuing to run the same, hop on throw on a Symmetra for your second DPS so that you can control that high ground. If you end up going to Volskaya Industries, Hanamura, very similar, as well as Horizon Lunar Colony. All those high grounds are perfect vantage points to be able to control chokes or directly the objective that will completely hold out Lunaris. But Lunaris also could be cheeky and run a very mirrored composition if they have it in them. They could end up doing the flank there on Volskaya Industries, could go straight to point on Hanamura or Horizon Lunar Colony with that Symmetra and Bastion comp as well. So honestly, I feel like we're at the point where it's anyone's game, but personally, I hope that Soesic takes this so we can head to a tiebreaker map 5.
Yeah, and I want to see them take this one to Volskaya, and with that, I think they actually are going to, avoiding Hanamura, avoiding any sort of Bastion cheese, avoiding any sort of quick teleport on the Hanamura point, as well as trying to get away from Horizon Lunar Colony, where the double shield up on the high ground can be such a threat. I think is a great idea. Volskaya is a map that we've seen come into more and more prominence recently as well. It's a comfort pick for a lot of these teams. Right now, it's up there with some of my favorite 2CP maps, if you could even call 2CP maps favorites at this point. I think that's being generous. But Volskaya offers up a lot of opportunities for Lunaris. I don't think Soesic can really look to run the Bastion here, especially on the first point. However, given the fact that it worked so well for them, I suspect they may try and force it out here, which could be to their benefit or just could throw a point. We'll have to see what they look to do.
I definitely agree with you there. It will be interesting to see what the defense brings, because Lunaris will be going on it first, I believe. And if they continue to, or actually, no, I think they're actually going on the attack this time around. So they're going to be able to set the bar. The attackers always set the bar during that first round to see how far that they can get. Can they aggressively take down Soesic, be able to get those first 2 capture points within a reasonable amount of time, or will Soesic just completely shut them down? There is always a possibility of that as well. It looks like we are just waiting to get set up for this match, so let's go ahead and see what's going on in the chat. It looks like some people in the chat just want to see Old Man Strength play. They're just like, get this match over so we can see the finals and go to Old Man Strength. I mean, I don't know. I'm loving this match so far. Seeing this comeback come out from Soesic Esports is really livening my spirits. Lunaris still could take it here on Volskaya Industries, and one of these two teams is going to move on to face Old Man Strength in the finals for this match. And based on what I've been hearing, Old Man Strength has been kind of the destroyer of world of this tournament. So do you think either of these teams have a chance at playing against Sumdor?
You may not want to ask me that question. Old Man Strength is a force to be reckoned with. Right now, I believe the only team with 1 loss in Open Division, I think there's one team above them that's 10-0 that beat them. I think that's Scion Esports. And I'm not even sure if they have if they play them, if that was who they took the loss to, but 9-1 in Open Division is not easy. Going even in Open Division isn't easy. I think my team's on like 7 wins right now, and it's not an easy ride out here, man. But nonetheless, Old Man Strength at 9-1. I can't stress that is an impressive record for Open Division, because it only gets harder the more wins you get. Soesic and Lunaris are both at 7-3 in Open Division. I think just if you go by the numbers, it's going to be Old Man Strength, but if Lunaris or Soesic maybe gives them a little bit more of an interesting look, plays this meta a little bit better with the hero bans, I think we might see a little bit of competition.
I can see that happening too. I mean, it is 9-1 man strength, so someone did take down these Overwatch Goliaths in the Open Division. So it is possible to see this happen. So I will definitely be tuning in to see that. You can check that out over at the Overtime Champions Twitch soon after this match goes down. And if our teams are ready to go, it looks like everybody well, we're still not ready. Never mind. We are still not ready. So let's go ahead and go back to talking about our fundraiser for the evening. Overtime Champions is doing this tournament to support Feeding America. Feeding America is the nation's largest domestic hunger relief organization. Every day there are millions of children and adults who do not get their meals they need to thrive. And this is outside of the coronavirus. The coronavirus is hurting us even more because people are out of work. There are children that typically get free or reduced lunches in schools that do not have access to that right now in certain communities. And every dollar that you give helps us tonight. Our goal for the evening is $1,000. We're still sitting at $275. So hit that exclamation donate in the chat. That will give you access to the link, and then you can donate for this amazing cause. It looks like our match has gone ahead and gotten started as we head into Volskaya Industries. Now, this first objective is always an interesting one. do you run the Symmetra or do you just charge the objective?
There's a much larger question at hand here. Do Soesic lock Bastion? I don't think it plays their advantage. I think the Bastion is a little bit of a throw pick here on Volskaya. It's really hard to get him in any sort of position. Maybe they lock the Symmetra and the Bastion, try and wrap it around that high ground, get a little bit more creative with it up against Lunaris, but it's Lunaris starting out on the attack, and they have an Orisa, a Torbjorn, a Hanzo, a Baptiste, a Brig, a Mercy, and they're going to keep swapping around those heroes just to make sure that we have no clue what they're running in case Soesic's watching the stream, just to make sure there's no sniping going on, you know? But Soesic, they locked that Bastion back in. Kochan on it, Sora on the Doomfist. I've liked what I've seen this Doomfist as well, doing a great job peeling for his team, and was, though, not going to be running the same thing. He will be on that, or on the Moira, which is a little bit tricky here to play. It's just going to be pure healing on the entirety of the team, trying to make up for the lack of AoE healing that the Mercy has. And it's going to be a tough one for Lunaris to break, but I think they can do it here on the map.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they can make that happen. Lunaris coming in on the attack as we see the double barrier already sitting up there with a boosted Kochan just raining bullets into that narrow margin of the objective. We see Twice, though, trying to go on the flank with Pure, seeing if they can get a better angle on Kochan, but Kochan Ore on the move is just a ring around the rosy going down right now. Geo getting the first pick onto Sora as they go ahead and push them into the side room right there, right off the objective. But it looks like they're going to go ahead and work their way in, start getting that first tick, but they're going to be sitting light. Oh, the Maywall coming up from Chime as they try to get out both Kel and
where's Kochan going?
Will end up being successful. Geo getting the follow-up onto Like right there as Northdude falling to Chime, and that will go ahead and shut down this defense. With 3 minutes remaining on the clock, they will grab Objective A at 3 minutes to the clock and get a whole 6 minutes to grab Objective Bravo.
Okay, I know you can hear my disbelief. Kochan did absolutely nothing that fight. He had chances to reposition behind his tanks, with his tanks on a high ground, up on top of stuff, but he decided to try and go 1v1 a Zenyatta while pocketed by a Mercy, pulling effectively 2 of your players away from the fight against a team that all they want to do is close the space on you. What are they doing? Because now it's going to be all Lunaris just pushing in here with a great ultimate advantage.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Coalescence coming from Wazd in the backline ends up getting one as Sora following up onto Devin. Everyone is still standing strong right now for Soesic as the picks coming in. All those ultimates meant absolutely nothing as Sora starts cleaning it up twice. Just gonna go ahead and take the yeet right off of the side as Pure continuing to try to fight it out there with Kel, but they're going to end up falling here in the end shortly. 4 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock as they prepare for another push.
Plenty of time here for the side of Lunaris. They can get that Graviton, or the Gravitic Flux up. They've got the Dragon to try and combo with it. Meanwhile, up on the side of Soesic, they've got a Genji building his way towards Blade. No Ana to Nano Blade. You don't have a guaranteed fight win there, and you're looking for sustain if you're on the side of Soesic right now. You just want to live on this 2 CP. Allow yourself to get those respawns in, make that work to your advantage, but the only ultimates that they really have to do that, Kel's Gravitic Flux, gonna buy them a bit of time, Amplification Matrix can buy space, but this is gonna be a tough one here for the side of Soesic.
Woo! And they do end up drawing out the Transcendence from Geo right there. Devin coming in with the bongos as well as the Gravitic Flux and Dragons coming in. Twice able to solidify, taking down Northdude, but Kel and Kochan get some picks of their own. First tick for the side of Lunaris as we see Sora working their way back into the fight, looking to see if they can get some picks, but Twice and Pure are holding on to that objective for all their life. Now Northdude back in as the Hammond spin to win, baby! As they go ahead and slam around, the Gravitic Flux comes out from Pure, but gets absolutely no value as we see that beautiful Amp Matrix getting some heals in on the rest of the team. Now we have Kel coming back into the Rhine, going straight past the objective with that tackle and not getting a single person in their wake. But it looks like that is going to be enough for them to continue to hold on. Kel with the fire strike ends up taking down Chime as that meteor strike ends up allowing Sora to retreat to the safety of the team. Kochan gets the double, solidifying the objective with 3 minutes on the clock.
Spin to win really was just kind of the strategy there. You buy a lot of time. This Orisa Sigma composition didn't have all that much in the way of damage. They had Chime on the Mei, but there's only so much they can do trying to freeze up this Ham, especially once he's full speed. That wall comes out and all of a sudden you're out of tools to bring this man to a halt. I believe a spinning ball at the correct length should not get frozen up by a Mei. If he's at full momentum, you do need to hit that wall in order to do that. And so they just struggled without it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they have it. Pure and Chime switching over to that Mei and Roadhog to try to solidify that. The Blade now coming out following the coalescence from Waz will take down Ani and Chime as Devin falling to Waz there in the end. That's another minute off the clock, but with ultimates down, they're going to be putting themselves at a little bit of a disadvantage.
So again, here for Lunaris, the big question is, how do you win this point? I mean, they don't particularly have an ultimate combo that's going to guarantee that. They have a Blizzard here in 75%. That's going to be at least another minute off the clock before that one's up. They could pull off a Dragon combo with a halt, but the composition from the side of Soesic is decently mobile here, not going to be caught out by down too quickly, but they got to start out with the Bongo and buy themselves some space.
All right, it's Amplification Matrix versus Bongos right now, and the damage is coming in. Pure able to get that first pick onto Sora, and now the Amp Matrix soon to follow with those Bongos is going to do a heck of a ton of damage as Kel ends up falling to Pure's hook as well. We do see Kochan coming in on that Hanzo now, but will end up getting chased away there as Devin and Twice getting picks onto Waz and Norse. Dude, that Maywall comes out as they get second tick on the objective. Meteor strike and the ball coming back out once again as Kel now doing the spin to win to try to keep things moving. Now the Bongos come out, but the Maywall separating it out does not allow any value to go to the rest of the team. Pure now with the whole hog, and nothing but the hog ends up deleting the objective, and with 56 seconds left, they will grab objective number 2 and prepare for their defense.
It was a grindy fight, but Soesic gave up way too much space initially. Both teams came out with their amplification matrices, but it was the Bongo and the amplification matrix that just tipped the scales over the way of Lunaris, buying them more time there on the sustain, buying them more space, allowing them to move up to the point. Then the second you get the kill on the main tank, the swap over to ball is hard countered by that hog. The hard part of the fight was really engaging it, but Soesic was more than happy to just let them have that space, which I think was what was a critical error in that fight, allowing a Roadhog Orisa to move up and establish themselves any further than they already are is going to be a bad time no matter what team you're playing for.
No, I agree with you there, and I think one of the other values, one of the other things that we missed in that was Kochan trying to figure out what to go on to. It seemed like the Genji wasn't working out for them, so after the Blade came out in the previous fight, they were going between Bastion and then ended up coming out on the Hanzo, so just the confusion and not being in the fight at the beginning with that additional DPS kind of put Soesic at a disadvantage. We are seeing, though, some Torb action coming out from Chime for Objective Alpha here as they set up for their defense, and it looks like we're going to be seeing Kochan coming out on that ad.
And boy, oh boy, can I not wait to see this Ashe. Ashe got a couple of buffs there, 15 rounds now in the magazine. Actually feels like a world of a difference, but I want to focus on this tank competition. Wrecking Ball, Orisa, they're looking to wreak some havoc on this map right now, but with the Torbjorn set up on the high ground and Twice finding headshots like that, it is going to be a hard time here for Soesic.
The res does come in from Waz, though, to bring them back into the fight as they move their way onto the high ground. Sora just trying to send bullets back to that turret to see if they can take it out of the fight, but Chime does end up taking down Kel in their back line. We see the Immortality coming out, looking to see if they can get that pick onto Pure, but will end up being unsuccessful as Sora finally able to take down that Torb turret. Will regain regroup with the rest of the team right there. We now see that sneaky ball in the back line doesn't end up getting a boop. Devin does take down Norse Dude, though, as they go ahead and continue to pull back now from the rest of the team. Pure is just a pure force of nature right now. With all the supports that they are getting from their team, they are just not in position to be able to fall here.
So when I'm doing analysis, one of the questions I ask myself right at the end of every fight is, okay, how is the losing team going to win this next one? And I don't have an answer for that question right now. There's no Nano Blade, there's no 8 combo, they've got an Amplification Matrix to buy them a bit of space, but they're currently completely surrounded here on the 8 point with the Wrecking Ball doing something in the back line. I'm pretty sure it's just giving ultimate charge away to the side of Lunaris right now, and this push from Soesic needs to be huge, or else they're going to have a hard time.
I think what they're trying to do is just use the ball to boot people off, but it's just not working out. And that Gravitic Flux is going to end up getting two. Kochian to fall to Pure's Gravitic as Geo and Chime just cleaning up the rest of the team. Pure ends up getting the final kill onto Waz right there. And with 2 minutes already off the clock, we have got to see some changes from the side of Soesic.
And check out these ultimates from the side of Lunaris. They have everything they could ever want to peel anything off. The Molten Core can push away a Gravitic Flux combo. The Transcendence can start to deal with this Blade again. No Nano available here because that Ana band is just going to get taken down immediately.
Brother against brother once again. Twice takes down Sora. But we will see the res come in for Kochian right there after getting taken out as well. A minute and a half remaining on the clock, as still Pure, the only tank out of position, still cannot get taken down here. Chime takes down Kochian once again, just absolutely poor positioning, and with every ultimate except for the Gravitic Flux online, it is hard to see how Lunaris will lose this fight.
All right, Soesic, they've decided it's the only way they're going to win a game is by running this Bastion. They swap onto it alongside the Ashe. They've got a lot of damage. They have point potential to stall out here with a Bob if they can position it correctly. But I think there's really just an elephant in the room here. There's so many ultimates from the side of Lunaris to win this one over. That Amplification Matrix is going to be huge with an Orisa, a Baptiste, and a Zenyatta all standing in their way. This Dragon's going to look to cut somebody else. Finds absolutely nothing here, though. Twice just kind of chucking that one away. They would have loved to have this with this long hallway as Kochian takes down Geo.
And this might be exactly what they need. Amplification Matrix, though, coming out as they move their way past it. Molten Core now coming out, ends up getting two, but Sora takes down Devin right before the res coming in to bring Sora back into the fight as Bob fighting on that high ground. It is a 2v4 fight right now as they move their way into the objective, and through some kind of incredible miracle, I think we will see them grab objective alpha.
And there is only one way you lose a fight with that many ultimates in your back pocket while the other team is sitting on just two, and that is the hard throw. Chucking that dragon down, trying to cut somebody off from Twice. Real questionable. You know the Bastion is going to be trying to approach you in this hallway. Try and take that one-on-one fight. Throw that ultimate their way. It's going to be all money as well. They didn't use their Transcendence early, which is huge here. Geo's still sitting on it for this second point. It would have mattered so much heading in there, keeping those tanks alive, allowing them to continue to hold their space. Now they've got to try and hold second point here. They've got a few ultimates to try and hold on to at least one push, but they've got to reevaluate the way they're playing this competition.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen with an extra 3 minutes on the clock. They've now shaved it down to 220. Bongos and Gravitic Flux coming out, end up grabbing two, but the lamp saves the day as well as the Transcendence. We're now seeing both going down as tank mode coming out from Sora and the Molten Core from Chime, looking to see if it can do some damage as well. Devin will fall to the tank mode as Kochian takes down Twice, and it is a Bob back on the field once again, looking to see if he can do that additional damage. Gravitic Flux also coming out from Kel, allows them to take down Ani and Geo. First tick, second tick, looking to get that third, but the ball's back in the fight already. Devin rolling in as they go ahead and make their way on. Dragon Strike now coming in from Twice as Northstude ends up taking down Devin, but Waz and Like will end up falling there at the end. They have it. They can make it happen. They have less than 2% to be able to grab this objective, but numbers are all it's about. They have to get those picks, but it's not coming in. Twice getting the double kill on the objective as we see Kochan falling to Devin in the end with 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock.
You know, I'm not sure what it is about this Bastion that just makes Lunaris decide that they don't want to win the game anymore, but it is working a charm for the side of Soesic. However, what a gorgeous recontest. Buying just enough time to build up a bank of players just outside the point. They all charge on at the same time, immediately take down the tanks of Soesic, and over the point that was rightfully theirs. Only 1 tick left to go, though, here for the side of Soesic, and that Bastion still a threat. No,
All
wait.
right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. The Torb turret already down as the amplification matrix comes out. Here comes the tackle, sending Kel right over the side. Pure does have the ability to come back in pretty quickly, though, so I wouldn't say that that's even a loss at this point. Leg coming in with the Bongo Coalescence, though, ends up taking Devin out of the fight as the lamp comes up immediately down by Northstude. Now Bob back in the fight once again, and I feel that we are going to be seeing this come in. Pure back in the fight along with Devin now coming in as that Hammond, looking to see if they can grab this objective. They got to get those picks. Here it comes with 7 seconds remaining on the clock. They will grab objective 2 from the jaws of defeat.
And Devin unfortunately used his pile driver, and the platform just moved right under him. So he didn't land inside the entire team, which also meant he wasn't able to hook onto the center point to start the spin to win, to start making that target focus more difficult. And that 7 seconds would have been an entirely different story had that platform not moved under his pile driver. That's an unfortunate one for the side of Lunaris. They could have looked to seal it out here, but nonetheless, they're going to have to be playing up against the side of Soesic, who have a minute in their time bank. A minute 50 on the side of Lunaris, though, is going to be a pretty healthy one. A minute more is a nice amount of time to try and get some of those ultimates up. You can play for combos, you can play for a Grav Dragon, you can play for something like a Gravitic Flux. However, Soesic, they get the first push, and I'm curious to see whether or not they want to stay with the Bastion or whether they want to swap off to something like this Far Mercy that we're seeing them lock in right now.
Ooh. And that might be exactly what they need right there. I mean, they do have Chime and Twice coming back in on that Torb Hanzo, though. And although many may not consider Hanzo to be the best hit scan, if you've got, I mean, Twice has been hitting shots left, right, and center tonight. So I'm wondering if this Far Mercy is the way that they should be going. But Kochan looking to see if they can counter that with a Hanzo of their own. 1 minute remaining on the clock as they go ahead and move their way into Objective Alpha.
And it's the composition that was the bane of them for all of, 2 minutes on their initial push. Soesic, they've decided that the Far Mercy is going to be the thing to break it. Pushing back up into this hallway, trying to shut down all of those sight lines that Lunaris has. However, this time there's no Bastion to work with. They've got to push through and grind through all this damage to get there.
All right, we're seeing the lamp coming up right now as they're trying to fight their way out of the room. The lamp coming up to counter from Ani, but gets immediately taken down to Sora. Gets the first pick onto Chime, with no turret up, there's no additional damage. Geo able to follow up on Kochan, though, and Sora raining fire from above. Devin trying to even it out, though, as the res comes in from Like onto Kochan. Sora getting the triple, looking to see if they can solidify that additional kill right there. Kochan will follow up on Twice as Sora takes down Pure, and Geo will fall to Kochan in the end. And with 0 seconds on the clock, they will grab Objective Alpha and get an additional 30 seconds for Objective Bravo.
Sora did such a good job there on the Pharah, forcing people off. The second that they got shoved outside by the push from Soesic through the hallway, it was all just Rocket City for the side of Lunaris. Now they've got to try and deal with it here on the second point. That Pharah going to be a little bit easier to deal with in this enclosed space. However, she's on a flank. It could be a little bit cheesy here.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen with no Graviton or anything to hold everybody together. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Sora trying to take to the Scar. Oh, it's a ground Farah! Ends up getting Chime, but Geo soon to take down Sora afterwards. Ani ends up getting a pick onto Northstude, but the res comes in as the Amp Matrix is come out for either side, trying to see if they can hold on to this objective right now. Storage Dude falling his overtime ticking away right now, like in Valkyrie, just trying to keep everyone up, but the only one left is like, and I'm sorry, but a 5v6 is just not going to happen. The Transcendence to solidify as Objective 4 remains uncaptured. Let's go ahead and see what Lunaris will do on their attack.
Nonetheless, a solid push from Soesic, pushing halfway through 2CP. Map is nothing to scoff at here with just a minute on your clock. That was a rough last fight. I'm a huge lover of the ground fire, using that barrage with the double shield. It keeps you real safe, keeps you real cozy, nets them a pick, but it was the following push afterwards. The time really forced them to push more aggressively than they might have wanted to, especially with that far, especially when you're wanting to grind the other team out. Finding only one with the barrage really just isn't enough value to play with your Pharah when she doesn't have the airspace or the time to deal the damage that she wants to. And so now it's only going to be one push needed from the side of Lunaris, and I think they can do this one. It's tricky, though, because of how much time they have. They've got a minute 50, which is going to be enough time if they need to build up ultimates for the first point to take it. However, if they can take the first point without ultimates, that extra 50 seconds is definitely going to be enough time for them to get up some sort of combo and almost guarantee that second or that first tick on the second point.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. 1 minute, 49 seconds on the clock. It looks like we're seeing very similar compositions coming out as we saw during round 3. Kochan taking on the Torb this time around as Waz takes over the Mercy. So we do have that going for him. It looks like Twice quickly swapping over to that McCree, though, to try to take down the Pharah Mercy in the sky that is doling out damage right now against the double shield like it's nobody's business. The accretion ends up missing due to that little air conditioner right there. Unfortunate. But again, we're seeing this double push right here. Pure just going off purely on their own, looking to see if they can hold. Twice, though, ends up fooling us all, coming back in as the Widowmaker gets the pick onto Sora. The res comes in, but was soon to follow. But Geo will take down Sora in retaliation right there as they fight for control of the objective. It's second tick. Twice with the double kill onto Kochan and Norse Dude. Make that a triple as like soon to follow with only 50 seconds remaining on the clock and a Torb turret there to defend. There's nothing that they can do. Add 30 seconds. They got a minute 15 to get one tick on Objective Bravo.
And two things I want to take away from that fight. Number one, Twice absolutely terrifying on the Widowmaker. Please don't 1v1 me. Geo, however, is playing frontline Zenyatta, and somehow it's working out here for Lunaris. They look to push point B.
All right, they're moving their way in, looking to see if they can get that first tick as the lamp already going down for the side of Soesic. Pure and Devin getting picks on the tanks as we see now Sora coming into that backline, ends up getting taken down by Twice. The only one left on the objective is Like. It comes out with the Amp Matrix, but gets taken out soon after. Lunaris will take away this victory, going on to face Old Man Strength in the final.
And congratulations to Lunaris. They deserved it. They have played incredibly all night. They've got to play incredibly once again. Their next opponents are extremely formidable. But you know who's an opponent of us all that we all hate to see people struggle with? That one is going to be Hunger. And Feeding America have been doing an awesome job of helping keep people up and on their feet during this tough time, especially. So if you guys want to go ahead and type that exclamation point, donate in the chat. That's what this stream has been supporting. And I hope that you guys can find whatever spare bit of change you have and go ahead and help out that cause. As for this match, though, Soesic turned it around at the end. They were looking pretty hot. Lunaris struggled a little bit, especially for whatever reason. Like I said, just deciding they want to lose a map whenever the Bastion comes out was a particularly interesting strat from their side, but they figured it out by the end of it, and I think Soesic gave them a little bit of reprieve by not playing the Bastion on that final push.
No, I agree with you there, but we're going to go ahead and end it for right now. Go ahead and make your way over to the Overtime Champions Twitch for this finals match. Thank you so much for joining us here at Overwatch Tranquility. I have been Captain Jack Door as the color this evening, along with Juke, producer, and Meilu, the one pulling us all together for such an amazing cause. Be sure to hit that exclamation donate in the chat, and we will see you for the finals over on Overtime Champions.